Right, so in this video I'm going to be drawing some sort of tower, and the link to the image is in the description like always, and I'm starting out with blocking in the shape of it on the page, and I'm gonna kind of angle it diagonally at the bottom so it kind of fits in better into the space. And here's something I forgot to mention last time. When you see me hovering, that's usually because I'm planning a line and comparing the proportions to the image. So I'd rather a good clean line in the proper place than a bunch of sketchy lines that eventually form a right one, especially in pen. Not so much in pencil, but in pen that's very important. So you have to keep in mind this is sped up like 3 times. It took about 15 minutes. So when I'm hovering, sometimes I hover for quite a while, quite a few seconds before I put down a line. So I started out by kind of doing an outline because there's not that many foreground and background elements. It's a bit easier, and like nothing is really overlapping except these stairs right here, which I'm elongating again, like I said, to kind of have a diagonal line at the end of them. So once those are done, there's no more overlapping parts, and it's just basically detailing everything in. Now the windows in this one, there's a few that match up, so but there's these handy lines on the tower to make them in the correct position. And and that top part, there were a few details I couldn't quite make out, so I just scribbled a few loose lines. And these are some of the windows were random, so there's not much to place about them. There was a door, and it was kind of in shadow, but I added those perspective lines to give it some depth. And these are the windows that were kind of positioned relative to each other, but again, there wasn't much measuring of proportions that was needed for those. They were kind of divided into 3 areas. Anyways, and now in this drawing, I'm going to detail the bricks because of the way the light is hitting the tower in the picture. You can see them very clearly. Now you'll notice I'm not going to draw each individual brick. If we were to do that, you wouldn't be able to tell what anything was. So I'm concentrating on the areas where I could see them the most, and that was usually on the dark corners. And then in the lighter areas, I'm just lightly hinting at it with lines. And I tend to make like this little square, and then on one side I let a line run loose, continue on to hint at the junction of the bricks, and you can see it here a bit more closely. And now I'm going to detail it with the marker, and again I'm starting with some light grays for some of the bricks. I'm adding even more bricks separate from the ones I already drew, and detailing some of the ones I did draw. So in all put together, it looks like there's a lot of detail when there really isn't. Now later I'll go over the windows a few times to make them pop out a bit more, because now they're tending to blend in with the bricks. So that's the danger of having too much detail. And finally, what I wanted to do in this one is, instead of lining it with a thick marker to fix some of the unevenness of the lines, I wanted to try doing it with this marker, which I think worked really nicely. It's also easier to straighten the lines because you can do so many more passes with them. Anyways, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please like, comment, subscribe. Also be sure to check out my site, and if you want to support me, I have a Patreon.